Hey, g'day everyone, it's President Rob Coles here with the Director of Corporate Services at the Shire of Serpentine, Jarrahdale, Mr Frazer Sullivan. We're just going to spend the next few moments talking about the 2025-2026 budget. And Frazer and I are going to answer some of the questions, and these are the questions we've heard from the community over the last few months about rates, why we charge rates and where your money goes. So our first question we received is from Terry in the Serpentine, and Terry's interested to know why our rates appear so much higher than neighbouring local governments.
Well, Rob, thanks for having me here. It's actually a pretty complex question, Terry. The Shire is regarded as one of the more affordable places to build a home. And whilst that reflects the outer metropolitan area that we live in, it also reflects the lack of services and other amenities that are in the Shire. Whilst the Shire does aggressively look for grants and relies on developer contributions to build those new amenities and services that are required, rates also plays a big part in that funding model. Secondly, it's from our revenue raising side. Many of our near neighbours have really vast industrial and commercial ratepayers, whereas we just don't have that, and that subsidises the residential properties. Commercial and industrial properties pay a significant more rates than a residential property would for a similar square metre of area. And finally, we are a very fast growing local government. We were once about 8,000 residents, 20 odd years ago. We're now at 40,000. From analysis of other local governments, we know that when you hit a 50,000 population, you start to really achieve economies of scale. And for instance, we currently have about 6 employees per 1,000 head of population. We'll probably only need about 5 when we hit that 50,000 scale.
We are the fastest growing Western Australia, and on average, we have 2 families move to Boffin itself each day, so that shows you how fast growing we are. We've got a second question here, Frazer, and again, thank you for your first answer. This one is from Diane in Jarrahdale, and this is probably one of my most frequently asked questions, and that is, why did my rates increase?
Great question. The Shire faces the same cost of living pressures that families within the Shire also feel, and we need to factor these rising costs into the budget to ensure we can continue to deliver the same level of services to the residents.
So that's services such as keeping the parks maintained, the roads, the quality that we need, drains and those types of things?
Exactly. It's good.
So the next question is a very frequently asked question when I'm out and about, and Aaron from Boffin has asked this question, and it's about the Korea Fire Station and the ESL, or Emergency Services Levy. Can you just please explain that to everyone, Frazer, what that actually means?
Okay, so whilst the levy appears on our rate notice, we receive none of that money. We're just a collection agency for the state government. We pass that on back to the state, and they use that money to fund West Australia's fire and emergency services. We really are simply just a collection agency for that charge.
So Frazer, before you talk about the services that we provide as a Shire, I've got a question from Amanda in Darling Downs who wants to know what actual services are being improved and where her rate money goes to for those services.
Well, I think we've finally solved the Carter Boulevard drainage issues. I think that'll be a massive benefit for the Shire. So also we've implemented our programmed and scheduled maintenance for all of the Shire's assets. I think everybody would agree that our green spaces are significantly better maintained now. And on from that, we've also, in January, went live with our online customer portal. So initially it's just for planning and building applications, but in time, all of our residents will do practically all of their dealings with the Shire in online format from the comfort of their own home. We'll also be able to see all of the history of their dealings with the Shire.
So thank you for that explanation, Frazer, but it's really important. If anyone out there is struggling to pay their rates, please reach out, speak to the rates department, because we are a Shire that cares and we're here to assist you. So Frazer, before you made a comment about 50,000 residents is that good number, that goes on from a question that Barry has asked in Carter. Will there ever be a stage or a time in the future where our rates won't increase?
No, they'll always increase in line with CPI, but there will be a time when the infrastructure of the Shire is at a suitable level for the population we're at, and you should see very modest increases when that day comes.
So we've got a question from Naomi in Karrakuppa, and I think this is a really common question. How do ratepayers and residents in the Shire know where those funds go from their rates? Like, how can they see where those funds are actually being spent?
So you can go to our website. We've got a detailed breakdown on there where each dollar of our rates go. The budget document's a very onerous document. It's many hundreds of pages long and kind of details all of the individual programs that we run. But we do also have a flyer that goes out with the rates that gives a little detailed breakdown of where each dollar goes in a broad sense.
So when ratepayers get their rates notices, Frazer, there'll be a document in there that actually explains, sort of in high level terms, where those rates are going and how we spend those monies within the Shire.
Absolutely, yes, definitely.
The next question is a really interesting one. It's from Paul and Whitby. And he makes a comment or asks a question: are there any services that he can opt out of to reduce his rates?
Unfortunately, no. All of the rates are really a tax, and so you don't pay your rates in accordance with what you consume or the services you consume from the Shire. It's just to fund all of the services that the Shire provides as a government agency. One of the things that drives us is that we've got as many roads as Armadale and Gosnells, but about a third of the rate revenue. This year we've put an extra 2% on the rates to address that really problematic area of having 40% of our roads in poor condition.
So would you say that's like the inequity that we have here amongst other local governments?
Absolutely.
So if we're putting money aside, does that then make it easier for us to advocate for state and federal government funding to help us fix the roads and build those roads that we need?
Absolutely, Rob.
And certainly the roads are a challenge. And we look at the fantastic work with Cargodditch Road. Already we're seeing the advantages of that. You mentioned Carter Boulevard before and alleviating the flooding there. So we are delivering for the community. And for us as a Shire, for me as Shire President, we understand the challenges the community has, but really for us, as there's such a fast growing community and the fastest growing Shire of Western Australia, it's a balance for us to get those rates and put them into the services that the community needs. So please, if there's any concerns or any questions that you may have, please reach out either to the Rates Department, as Frazer mentioned earlier, or please to myself or any of the other elected members. And remember, if you are struggling, please pick up the phone and call out and reach out early. Well, thank you very much, Frazer, for coming down here today and explaining rates to our residents. And thank you very much for those people who have reached out to ask those questions. They were the top from our community feedback. But please, if there are further questions you have, please pick up the phone, call out to one of the councillors. You can contact myself. And every month, the last Saturday of the month, we have Council of the Community down at Munajog Markets. Please come down and see us. We are a community that cares. We are connected, livable and thriving, and we want to be a community where everyone feels at home.